today. And I'm stalling. Because to be real, first I'm shouting out, ain't in the room right now. Hey, welcome. Get on in here. Perfect timing. My core value shout out is going to Marley. Woo, Marley! The core value that I've noticed in you lately is being growth minded, and that is in Matthew, to not conform to the standards of the world, but to continuously transform and renew your mind for the glory of the kingdom. And seeing you be so excited and gung-ho about our new allergy programs has been super inspiring. Nothing is stopping us and nothing is getting in our way. All thanks to you. Woo! Right.
Hey team! We're keeping it short and we're keeping it real for the Charges forecast update. Our big monthly goal is $1.1 million, and guess what? We are already at $483,988.98. That means we only need $616,011.02 more to hit that goal. The finish line is in sight and we are moving full speed ahead. Here's the breakdown. Clinical charges so far, $164,830.56. Surgery charges so far, $319,158.26. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Y'all are absolutely crushing it. This week, we are projected to have $149,950 in surgery charges, which is amazing. That means we have some clinical work to do to make sure we stay on track. But I know this team, and I know we've got this. Every patient, every visit, every effort counts. Let's keep the energy high, support each other, and finish this week strong. Go team, let's get it done.
Well, here we are, the moment we've all been waiting for. This woman has inspired us all with her strength, her grace, her fierce commitment to breathing life, not only into her own story, but into every room she enters. She is a champion of wellness, a fierce advocate for her patients, a radiant example of resilience. She exudes power, wrapped in kindness, and has uplifted her team every step of the way. She lives with courage, she walks with purpose, she breathed through it all like a true queen. Your 2025 Breathe Easy Queen is Caitlin Saint.
Caitlin, it's me. I know we've had multiple years of working together, and once again, I'm sad that you're leaving, but I'm so proud of you, so proud of the accomplishments that you've done and all the people you've impacted, including myself. We're definitely gonna miss you. You're definitely gonna crush this ER situation, and hopefully we see you on the streets.
Hey Caitlin, I am not happy about this, but I'm so happy that you're happy, and I'm going to miss you so very much. I know we didn't get to work closely together very often, but you are definitely a great person with a great heart, and I know that the people, wherever it is that you go, are going to love you just as much as we have. So, yeah, I really do hope that this makes you happy. I'm trying not to get emotional. But I know that you're going to do great things wherever you go because your heart is so pure.
Caitlin, I truly admire you. The one thing that I admire most about you is just your winning attitude. I have never seen you approach a goal without the idea of like, we're going to kill it. We're going to crush it. Truly our quarterback. We're going to miss you a lot.
Hey Caitlin, I just want to mention one of my favorite memories of me and you, and that would be I first kind of started and I ran into you in public at Birdie's, and seeing your confidence and your ability to just hop on stage and sing, and me screaming in the crowd, I know her. It showed me that your confidence was unstoppable, and I know that's going to carry with you anywhere you go. So sad to see you go, but happy for you and your new opportunity.
Hey Caitlin, you're going to do amazing things. We're definitely going to miss you here. I hope you do great at the ER. I'm definitely going to miss one of my work moms so much.
Hey Caitlin, I just always appreciate the smile you had on your face, even though I come and ask 1,000 questions. Wishing you the best of luck, although you won't need it. Let's keep in touch.
Hey Caitlin, I just wanted to say that I'm really excited for what is to come for you, but we are going to miss you, and we wish you the best.
Hey Caitlin, I hope that your new job blesses you as much as you've blessed us here. I wish you the best of luck.
Hey Caitlin, we're going to miss you so much. I'm so proud of you in this new adventure that you're going on. Thank you for everything you've done for me over the years, and I look forward to seeing where you go from here.
Hey Caitlin, we're going to miss you so much. We wish the best for you. We hope this is everything that you dreamed of. We're so proud of you. And remember, whatever you do along the way, make sure you're wearing a fun outfit while doing it.
Hey Caitlin, I just want to say that I'm very proud of you. Sad to see you go, very bittersweet. I just think from the time that we were kids and Girl Scouts together to all the way to now, being seasoned MPs and then learning how to be an MP for the first time with you here, I'm definitely going to miss you, but I'm very proud of you. Best of luck.
If I don't make it through this, assume that I said something nice and poignant. Caitlin, I'm going to miss you so much. You were such a big part of me learning to become an ENT provider that I am, and you taught me so much. We clashed like brother and sister at the very beginning, quite a lot, but we worked through that, and now love each other like brother and sister, and miss you so much and wish you the best as you work with Tay at the hospital.
I feel like I always miss the filming events. What in the world? Gosh, it's always the last second. That's what it is. Dang it. Y'all give it up for Caitlin. Great job. And I'll tell you, it's a really good transition to what we're talking about today, and that is thinking big, thinking larger. And when I think about thinking big, the first question I ask myself is, have you ever had a dream where someone said to you, I don't know about that, or maybe like get a real job, or maybe do they have insurance, or what's the pay, right? Or I don't think you need to go back to school for that. Maybe go to school for this. It's less risky, right? The way this plays out in the healthcare space a lot is, hey, I think I might be able to go to medical school, but then I decide to go to become an RN. Nothing wrong with that at all. Or I want to become a PA, but then I decide I'm going to become an LPN, or I want to be an RN, and I decide I'm going to stop at LPN. And my question isn't, why did you do that? My question more is, was there something inside you that said, this is all you can do? And I want to talk about why we think that way. I'm going to introduce you to a concept that I've been wrestling with myself a lot lately. And that's this idea of like, do I really think big enough? Because a lot of times we can get into the day-to-day, the rut, the same old, and find ourselves not taking the time to dream. We're not taking the moment to say, hey, like I am capable of more, or I can do more, or I can be better. And what I want you to think about, I don't know who's got my clicker today. Does Blaze have it? Oh, the wonderful and mighty Blaze. Go to the next slide for me. What I want you to understand is that thinking small is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I want you to dream boldly. And I want to introduce you to a concept known as upper limiting. And upper limiting, there's a researcher by the name of Hendricks out of the East Coast. He wrote a book about 10 years ago called The Big Leap. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's really a short read. You can read it probably in an afternoon on the beach. But what the concept is that we often have this set point in our subconscious that we get familiar with when it comes to a certain level of success. So very similar to like your body's ability to regulate its temperature at 98.6 degrees, or your normal weight, or your certain level of ideation towards success. These things are these set points within us. Some are physiologic and some are actually take place in the subconscious. So here are the signs that you may have an upper limiting issue, or you not struggle with thinking big. And these are actually some I struggle with pretty regularly. The number one is starting arguments after having a big win or some good news. So what this looks like is you have a great day at work, you go home, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a conflict with your spouse or a parent, and you don't know why. Like, I had a great day at work. Like, why are we fighting? Like, what's happening, right? It's this subconscious ability to pull yourself back down. Or maybe like you're excited about completing something, and you just can't find yourself doing it. You can't find the energy to start doing it. I often find this with like working out or exercising. At the end of the exercise, I'm like, gosh, that was great. I'm so glad I did that. But there was something stopping me from starting it. Another sign is like getting sick or hurt when you're trying something new. So maybe you try a new exercise program or a new diet and you're into it for about a week or two, starting to feel great, and then boom, all of a sudden you get sick. What in the world? Like, why am I sick? No virus, no fever, but you're just run down. And like, oh, I think the argument I always hear is like all the toxins were leaving my body, right? No, that's your subconscious trying to pull you back down. Another sign of this is worrying unnecessarily, creating problems, downplaying successes or joy. So if you have a great day or you have a big win at school, work, or home, and you want to talk about it, you feel this kind of internal guilt about talking about it. Like, what happened? Like, I heard you won an award. Yeah, I guess I did. Really? It's okay. Like, talk about it, right? There's a piece of us, there's something in us that's like, no, don't talk about it. You don't want to be bragging or braggadocious. And the last is just feeling this guilt or anxiety during good moments. So if you're being honored or praised or given like clout, you're just like, don't talk. This is the one I struggle with the most. It's like, don't say a positive thing about me. Don't give me praise. I don't deserve that. It's all of these symptoms of this subconscious thought of kind of upper limiting. And the reason I want to talk to you about this is because there's three big pieces of thinking big. The first is like allowing ourselves to dream big. The second is encouraging others that are on the team to think big. And the third is thinking big for patients or our constituents or our customers so that we can kind of move to the next level. So, question is, what are the root causes of upper limiting? Why does this happen? And there are four, and these four things play themselves out within each lane of those individual people, right? Within ourselves, within our team members, and how we express those to patients. The first one is feeling fundamentally flawed. The way that typically expresses itself is, I could never do that. Like, I'm going to go to medical school. I could never do that. Or I'm going to go get my MBA. I could never do that. Or I could blank. I'm going to go start a small business. I could never do that, right? Not that you're not going to, but there's a voice internally that's saying you couldn't do that. The second is disloyalty or abandonment. You have a community, a group of people, and going and starting something new or getting successful at a certain area or getting good at something, there's this internal monologue that you're dealing with that says, if you do this, if you get better, if you grow, you're not going to have the same relationship with the people that are closest to you. Not true, but they're these subconscious fears that we express. True friends would be very glad if you did that. The next one is believing success is a burden. Like I can't go start that new job. I can't become a manager. I can't go back to school because having more is too much to deal with. It's too much for me to handle right now. I can't do that right now because I've already got too much on my plate. The reason we feel that way is because we have an upper limiting belief that the situation that we will find ourselves in will be more stressful than the current situation. I heard somebody say you can choose your hard, right? You can choose to be unhealthy and out of shape, or you can choose to work out every morning. You can choose to be scrapping by without being on a budget, or you can be on a budget. Both very difficult, both difficult outcomes, but what they are is very similar in outcome, similar in stress. And this part of Upper would tell us that's not true. Last but not least is one we probably all struggle with, especially in the South, and that is the fear of outshining. That I'm not going to say anything, or I'm not going to achieve that thing because the people that are closest to me are going to feel bad. This expresses itself in parenting relationships all the time. I honestly struggle with this. I have one kid, none in particular, who do really well at a certain event. They do good in a sporting event or an academic event or some extracurricular activity, and they start talking about it. I'm like, oh, shh, you're going to make your brother feel bad because you've done a good job, right? And I'm not saying that we should be boastful or braggadocious, but I am saying that it's important to know and understand that we can be comfortable with dreaming big and having success without feeling in an appropriate way of outshining others. These are the primary limiting factors to thinking big. Number one, feeling fundamentally flawed, like I'm not worthy of that. Number two is disloyalty or abandonment, like if I do that, then it's going to separate me from an important relationship. Number three, believing success is more of a burden. And number four, the fear of outshining. So what do we do about that? How do we overcome it, according to Hendricks? There are 4 ways to do it, and it's going to be pretty intuitive. But the first is just being aware of that. And here's what I want you to think. So if you find yourself becoming stressed or anxious or hesitant or feeling ill, ask yourself a question: is there something I'm currently excited about as well? It's going to be a little counterintuitive, right? It's like let's say I find myself in a conflict or an argument with someone, ask myself, is there something else that's going well in life? Because a lot of times, not every time, that's the subconscious expression of pulling things back down. And being aware of that's important. It's not going to break it, it's not going to change it, but it is going to make you aware of it. So the next time you feel like, I don't want to say this, well, why don't I want to say this? Am I going to hurt somebody's feelings? Is it wrong to say this? Being aware of that's number one. Number two is challenge your limiting beliefs. Next time something good happens, or you experience a certain level of success, and you start to feel the specific feeling of guilt overriding you, I'm not asking you to avoid it, push it down, or suppress it. Just ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What is it that's making me feel this way? Why do I feel a sense of guilt for doing something good? Where's that coming from? Or maybe you don't feel guilt internally. Maybe if you're sitting in your car and something went well, you're like, I don't feel guilty at all. I feel great. This is awesome. I had a great day. Maybe you got a raise at work and you're on top of the world. Got a new job offer. You're on top of the world. Have a new relationship. Got into school. Made a good grade. Alone, you're doing great. You walk into a certain situation and you feel like a hesitancy to share that or a hesitancy to be honest about it. Ask yourself why. The next is reframe. You can reframe the feelings of discomfort into a positive sign to embrace growth. So if you do something well or something goes well, and you're feeling that feeling of guilt or shame or anxiety and you don't know why, don't try to overcome it all at once and say, well, I'm just going to, by being aware of this, I'm going to overcome it. No. Just set a goal to improve. The next time I feel this feeling again, I'm going to attempt to I'm going to try to understand why I'm feeling this limitation. Or I'm going to have the conversation. Say, hey, you know that thing I've been talking to you about, Harley? It's actually going great. That's awesome. I'm glad you told me. I'm glad we can share that together. And last but not least is seek support. So if you're challenging yourself to dream big or think big, and there's a limitation on you, which is expressed as, I'm not worthy of that, or I could never do that, or I could never be a manager, or I could never go back to school and get that, or I could never become this, right? If that's the thought that pops into your head, work through those 4 things of getting in a different headspace. And those specifically are awareness, challenging the idea, attempting to improve, and getting some support to get through that. And that's in all areas of life. That's educationally, relationally, professionally. This expresses itself a lot in the church world by trying to encourage people to start small groups. And maybe that happens here. You're like, I would love to lead a forward group, or I would love to start a small group, but you feel this sense of unworthiness. I haven't been here long enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not intelligent enough to do anything. Those are upper limiting beliefs. And the reason I want you to understand that is because if you personally can't think big, you're never going to be able to think big for your team, never going to be able to think big for patients. And being able to think big is an essential part of how we want to deliver service. I think if you walk in the building here, the first thing you're going to see is, okay, they're not afraid to dream big a little bit. I like what I see, right? That kind of falls apart if the moment they walk into the exam room or check in with the person, that person doesn't also have that mentality. I want to think big. I want to dream big. I've got a bigger vision for myself. And that doesn't have to be at work, right? That can be as a mom. That can be as a wife or a husband. That can be as in our education. That can be at church. That can be anywhere. But having the predisposition to dreaming big is something that has to be practiced if it doesn't come naturally, because we all have this tendency. So the second thing is, I want you to understand about thinking big in general, is that communicating a clear, bold direction will motivate others. Another way of saying that is thinking big will metastasize. If you have big dreams, if you've got a big idea, the people that are directly on your team with you, maybe it's just a small little team of 3 people. Maybe it's a team of 20 people. But you think big, the people that are following you, they're going to want to think big too. Like, ooh, I like that. Let's do that. You're going to challenge those limiting beliefs that you have as a team. And the way this shows up on a team is, hey, this is the system, this is the process, that's how we've always done it. That's how we're always going to do it, right? Or this is how we do this system, this is how we do this process. I know it's not the best, but that's just where we are right now. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to think big. Like, how can that be different? If you're naturally thinking big as an individual, then you're going to start to do that in the team setting as well. We don't have to stick to the same old process over and over again. We can dream a little bigger and think a little bigger. And finally, I want you to really serve customers by looking around corners and seeing what's next. Henry Ford famously said one time, if I would have gone out to my customers and said, hey, what is it that you want me to make you, or what do you want me to build? They would have said a faster horse. So sometimes your customers, your constituents, aren't the people that are going to give you the best data or insight. This song is, right? That's a good one, Blaze. Well, here's what I want you to understand. Nobody wants to really be part of something where there isn't like an intentional look toward the future or like an excitement. And that can come from the leadership and that can come from the management. But if the person you're working shoulder to shoulder with isn't excited, or I'm not saying they have to be giddy every day. Everybody has bad days, right? We're inspiring friends for a reason. Not everybody's 100%. But at the same time, if what we talk about or what we're doing isn't like at least encouraging us every once in a while to have an idea that's bigger than ourselves, like, hey, what if we, like, can you imagine if we did this? Like, I have sometimes a problem not being this way, right? I think I stopped Amber, like, in the break room, like, gosh, her first or second week here, and I was like, hey, I know it's your first week here, but can you imagine if we had a QR code that was on our allergy app that you could, like, scan it, and then it would tell the barista what the patient's food allergy were? Wouldn't that be amazing? And she was like, I'm just looking for the bathroom, bro. And anyway, like, just, like, having those conversations to be like, I know this is impossible right now, but maybe in the future this could be possible. You know, like, what if blank? And that starts here, right in your own head. It starts with you saying, like, what if I got my RN? What if I got my MBA? What if I went to NP school? What if I started becoming a manager? What would that look like for me? Because if we dream big individually, we can dream big in our team, and then we can dream big for our patients. Sound good? So I want to show you this slide here, which is kind of the summary of this. I'm really excited. Blaze actually did a really good job. I wish I would have told him to put this in the slide deck, but he's taken all the things we've talked about over the last several weeks, and he's put them in this really beautiful graphic, so as you start morning thoughts, you can actually pull it up and see what the 3 things are. But I want you to kind of think to yourself independently right now and see if Blaze can play that really fancy guitar music again. What is something that you potentially could dream a little bit bigger in, either personally, and that can include your family, that it can include your parenting, that can include your church, that could include this place. Or is it something that's in your workstation, something you've been doing over and over again, but you know, like deep inside, like one or two times you thought to yourself, man, it'd be so much better if we did this, but you just didn't feel qualified? Like you were struggling with a little bit of internal, like, I'm not worthy to say that. I'm not high enough on the totem pole. I'm here today to tell you that's not true. The best ideas sometimes come from those who are closest to the problem. And then finally, like, what could you do for your patients? What has a patient said that you've said to yourself, that's a bad idea, but after you went back and thought about it, you said to yourself, man, it's not a bad idea. I like what you're thinking there. So take some time and think big for a little bit.